Do you have plants at home that won't seem to thrive no matter what you're doing? How much fertilizer you're giving it or water? Do you have pets that might avoid certain areas of your home? Children that seems to not be able to sleep and cry and act out a lot of time in certain areas of your home? Or do you experience that your health is deteriorating since you moved into your new home and your sleep is getting worse and worse? Then you might be experiencing a thing called geopathic stress lines. So what is geopathic stress lines? Geo actually means earth, and pathic comes from the Greek word pathos, which means sick. So it's sick making earth. And what it means is that we have a positive energy coming from inside the earth, sort of radiating like an inner sun towards us. So we wouldn't like to be on earth if it wasn't for that inner radiating sun and energy coming from the earth. It would be a very horrible place to live, but it isn't. So luckily we have this positive energy coming from the inner earth. But then there's certain scars, which is called geopathic stress lines in the earth. It could be underground water streams, it could be fault lines, it could be two different kind of earths, like clay and sand that's meeting and creating sort of a clash. And if your home is on top of those geopathic stress lines, you might experience some of the symptoms with the plants that won't thrive no matter what you're doing. You are getting sick and you are experiencing health issues, and your sleep is getting worse and worse. And as an adult, you usually blame yourself. So what happens with animals when they experience the geopathic stress lines? They would never sleep there. They would avoid it at all costs. They would go, and if they had an open space, they would avoid it and go to a different area. And kids and children also do the same thing. But as an adult, we usually blame ourselves, saying that I have this migraine, must be my fault. It's not your fault necessarily. It's not only about diet. You could have the perfect diet and still have issues. It's not about exercising. It's not about going to sleep at a proper time. If you have geopathic stress lines, you would actually experience that you go to sleep very late or get up early in order to avoid staying in the bed. So let's just imagine that we have a bed over here and we have a couple here, and there's geopathic stress line going through the feet on this problem, or this person over here. So this person over here who's most exposed to the geopathic stress line could, after a few years, experience problems with their feet and their ankles and their knees, for example. So I had geopathic stress lines going through my childhood home, and also my older brother had the same. I took over the room after him. So what we both have in common is that we have this geopathic stress line that was hitting us on the side, on my my knee and my hip. And what it caused, because I was growing, I was only like 11, 12 years old till I was 18. I was living that space, that room. So what I experienced is that my growth was inhibited on that one side. And the same thing happens to plant. The growth of the plants would be inhibited. They would get too much water, so they would drown sort of the roots. So I got slightly, I was slightly off in one side compared to the other, which of course creates problem as an adult. So it wasn't my fault. It was just the underground water was creating this havoc in my system. So I had problems sleeping there. I got depressed. I got allergies. I got all different kinds of symptoms. So today I know how to fix it, but because you can't fix it without actually moving your bed away from it. You can fix it by placing copper cures in a certain length with a certain intention. And it only takes 3 seconds to cure the energy. It's not removing the underground water, it's healing the scar in the energy. It's sort of creating a block where it says, you can come to here and no further the energy. And there are certain plants and animals that actually thrive on underground water and geopathic stress lines. It could be ants, it could be mosquitoes, and it could be pine trees, all the things that have spikes on, all those plants, they actually love underground water. So if you have a lot of underground water and you have a lot of those plants and animals, you should definitely look into geopathic stress and get it cured, because your health will be affected by it. If you have a lot of roses, also example, they also have a lot of spikes, they also love this, and orchids. So if that's the only thing that likes to be in your home, be aware of geopathic stress lines. If your cat really loves it, also look for geopathic stress lines. If your dog doesn't like it, okay, you probably have some issues with energy, because dogs come and they spread the positive energy. They find the most positive spot in your home and want to share it with you. The cats are always placed where there is geopathic stress lines, where there's fault lines, where there's negative vortexes, and sort of protect you from it. So this is just a short video explaining geopathic stress lines. If you want to learn more, I've got plenty of more videos about it, and I have a link just below this video here explaining more about it. So this is my short video about geopathic stress lines. I wish you a wonderful day. My name is Simon August, and I hope you learned a little about geopathic stress line and what it is. And it's not your fault necessarily that you have issues with your health. All my love. Bye.